Please note, the following video contains spoilers from the second episode of Star Wars Rebels' third season. Things are getting a lot more serious in Holocrons of Fate, the second episode of Star Wars Rebels Season 3. Maul is back. The dark versus light eternal battle for balance is stronger in this episode than in any other before. Bendu is back, this time without "the" in the title. Kanan's real name pops up, Ezra learns a valuable lesson from his master in the cave, and so much more. Let's start digesting the Holocrons of Fate. The story recap. Ezra and Kanan are split from the rest of the team, which is Maul's plan as we see him capturing Ghost and the crew on it. Maul asks Ezra and Kanan to give him the s3e holocron which Kanan gave to Bendu in the previous episode, and with the use of his force powers he finds the Jedi holocron hidden on the Ghost. Ezra and Kanan travel back to the mysterious, to me at least, planet to find Bendu. The ancient creature sends them down a deep cave where both master and student have a lot to learn about the balance in their relationship. At the end, the two Jedi find the s3e holocron and bring it to Maul. Maul attempts to kill Kanan by pushing him out of the airlock. The Jedi survives and returns to save his friends. They find Ezra and Maul in the middle of the process of opening both holocrons together, which, as we've learned already, is a very dangerous process and brings all kinds of knowledge, good and bad. Kanan interrupts the process, but Maul manages to escape. Well, it's a lot better if you actually watch the episode for yourself, I assume, but that's the gist of it, as best as I can describe it. Now let's dive into the important moments and analysis. Maul returns. It was inevitable that Maul will not only return but be one of the main villains in the third season of the show. The interviews published after the release of the episode on the official Star Wars YouTube channel with the cast and creators only prove that Maul is not a Sith. He's aiming to be something else, something he's creating on his own. As Dave Filoni, executive producer of the show, says, Maul is trying to do something others have attempted before him. The results has always been the same: failure. We're hoping that Maul's fate will be different. Well, I mean, it's not fun watching something with a predictable ending, right? Another interesting fact is that Maul has done his homework. He knows a lot more about the crew of the Ghost, about the rebels, than we thought he does. A good example and a demonstration of that is the scene where he interrogates Hera. In her eyes, he can see the surprise when he pronounces the real name of Kanan, Caleb Doom. That's the name he was born with. Or perhaps he just learned that by interrogating her through the Force. Most likely the second one. Then there's that silly scene where Maul leaves two droids to guard the rebels while he deals with Kanan and Ezra. Chopper to the rescue! The fact alone that Maul relies on droids but forgets to monitor them, through the Force or in any other way, via an intercom if you wish, it's just a stupid mistake on his part. And while on the subject of negative notes about Maul, he talks far too much, damn it. The Maul we all loved in 1999's Phantom Menace was quiet. He relied on actions, not words. The Maul from Rebels talks a lot, acts little. Well, the scene with him defeating the Ghost crew in 5 seconds or less was impressive though. He makes weird faces all the time. Feels like a very different character that only looks physically like Darth Maul. I know that he's been denied that one too many times and has lived through a lot. But I still cannot accept him as the same figure from episode 1. Bendu, Ezra and Kanan. The scenes with Bendu seems to always bring to us, the audience, a piece of classic Jedi training lesson. I hope that it continues in the future because it's a lot of entertainment to see, hear and experience. In the second episode we see the Bendu teaching the two Jedi that once a great secret is known, it cannot be unknown. When the Jedi learn that the s3e holocron is hidden deep inside a mysterious cave, Kanan uses this to teach his Padawan a valuable lesson, how to solve problems without the weapon. And here is the quote about this moment. The Bendu asks why take his weapon when Kanan takes the lightsaber off of the belt of his Padawan. The answer from Kanan: he's got to learn how to solve problems without one. Another quote that caught my attention was how Kanan explains to Ezra his new ability to adapt and survive without the sight. I've been forced to see things differently since Malachor, he says. Do you think this is a play of words? Probably not, but I would like to treat this as such because it's more fun. And what I mean by that usage of the word forced, the force itself helps Kanan and teaches him how to live without being able to see things with his eyes. The force itself has forced him to learn that, but it was actually the Bendu that did it. We still know very little about this creature and what its role is in the universe. Can Bendu be some kind of an expression of the force itself? Or perhaps this creature represents the force in a physical form? Lovely theory. Unfortunately, I don't have any more proofs to back it up with at this point. The visuals. I've said it more than once when asked. I never liked the style of Clone Wars. Now I kind of dislike the design of the characters and the style overall in Rebels. What I do notice is that with each passing year and season, the environment, the effects, and all of the details in each scene become more and more detailed and beautiful to look at. Why I'm telling you this? Just look at the screenshot. The scene with Ezra and Kanan landing on the asteroid base, and forgive me, I don't know if it has a name at this point. If it does, maybe you'll fill in my gap in the knowledge. It looked absolutely stunning for a weekly show production. It's not a full movie, it's not something people have 2+ years to work on. Opening the holocrons. This moment wasn't just cool to look at, it gave us, the Star Wars junkies, some new knowledge and facts to play with. What I would mostly like to talk about here though is the quotes from both Ezra and Maul during the opening process. Ezra's twin sons and Maul's he lives are as interesting as they are unfinished and mysterious. I would like to believe that Ezra is talking about Tatooine's two sons and the future of the rebellion, how Luke is their only hope, and I'm quoting only hope because of what Leia says in episode 4. It's more fun. She actually says that about Obi-Wan, but okay, who cares. Luke is their really only hope for destroying the Sith, which he actually does in the end of episode 6, right? Ezra tells Kanan that he did see images of events and planets that he cannot explain and recognize. This, to me, is good enough proof that the above quoted line was about the two sons of Tatooine. Maul's line, though, it's hard for me to tell if it's about Obi-Wan, after their battle in episode 1, who is actually stranded on the same planet Tatooine where Luke is. He's not exactly stranded, he is guarding him, but alright, yet another detail. Or perhaps it's about Kanan. After all, just a few moments ago, he attempted to kill the Jedi, and this line comes right after Kanan's voice is heard, interrupting the concentration of both Ezra and Maul, and thus ruining the whole ritual. I must admit, it's a little annoying not knowing more about the process of combining holocrons, according to the new canon that is. For example, what would happen if you open together two random holocrons? Do they need to hold similar knowledge and information to be effective when opened together? Does the library of information hidden inside those things matter? Or any two red and blue holocrons can be matched to open a mysterious portal through the Force and learn anything or everything? The final verdict. Fantastic episode, there is no doubt about it. So much Jedi and Sith lore that I almost didn't notice Thrawn's total absence for the full 22 minutes. It was an episode deeply connected to the main story and plot of the show. I kind of like how it is all developing so far, and from what I saw is coming in the next episode 3, it might mean that we're taking a kind of a stroll to the side or a break, because it seems to me from these shots that the story will be kind of like a side quest and we'll take a break next week. Now it's your turn. What did you expect from this episode before you saw it? What did you feel and think while watching? I'm all ears and eyes. Go ahead. Thank you for watching, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If so, click the like button and help me out. Also leave a comment and let me know what you think. Visit my website VULKK.com for daily videos and news, and stay in touch by following me on Facebook and Twitter. To help me improve and expand, consider becoming my patron with a small monthly pledge.